Morning from here, sir. Good afternoon there. Friends from the Indian community. It is my honor and privilege to extend a very warm welcome to Honorable Minister Shri V. Muralidharanji for his interaction with the Indian community in Nigeria, as well as in Benin and Chad, our concurrent accreditation countries. Sir, I would like to begin by sincerely thanking you, Honorable Minister, sir, for having personally taken the initiative to interact with the Indian community despite your very, very busy schedule. Over the last year, sir, we've had a number of interactions with Indian dignitaries, but almost in all cases, we approach them, we or the Indian community. But this one, I would like the audience to know, Honorable Minister himself asked, which shows the special care that he takes that this interaction be fixed. So really thank you to Honorable Minister. Today's interaction is very important because of the times that we have been going through, relatively better off compared to many other parts of the world in Africa, sir, including particularly in Nigeria. I would also like to highlight here Honorable Minister's special attention to Nigeria. His first visit after assuming office was to Nigeria. One of the first calls that I got about community welfare when there was an incident related to kidnapping and piracy was from Honorable Minister, and he took personal interest in ensuring that the Vande Bharat mission was operationalized. So every time we have been fortunate to have got so much attention from Honorable Minister of State, Shri V. Muralidharanji. Sir, today we are joined by the Indian cultural associations in various cities of Nigeria, including Abuja, Lagos, Kano, Kaduna, Port Harcourt. We are also joined by the Indian Association in Benin. The Indian Language School, which has 1,800 students, is conducting this program in cooperation with us. So we have nearly 50,000 Indian nationals in Nigeria. And the unique thing about them is almost all of them still hold Indian passports, despite living here for decades and sometimes for generations. For them, really, sir, Nigeria is their karma bhumi if India is their janma bhumi. The school has been a pillar of strength. So all in all, sir, we are very eager to listen to you and to brief remarks by the community. I am joined here today by my entire team in Abuja, and also the entire office of the High Commission in Lagos has joined the meeting today to show our constant support and cooperation with the community. I look forward to a very productive interaction. I would also once again add to the MC's caution to all the speakers from the community to kindly keep to their time limits of 3 minutes each. Thank you, sir. I once again heartily and very warmly welcome you. Over to you, Ishita, Vice Principal of the ILS Lagos, who's our MC today. Thank you.
Dhanyavad, sir. Now I would like to invite the representatives of the different organizations of Nigeria. I would like to invite Chief Sanjay Jain, President, Indian Cultural Association, Lagos, to tell us about the benchmark which has been set by ICA. Sanjay ji, आप म्यूट पर हैं, please.
Good morning, Honorable Minister Shri V. Muralidharan, His Excellency Shri Abhay Thakur, High Commissioner of India to Nigeria, other dignitaries present on this webinar, all protocols observed. This is a great privilege for me to speak on this occasion when Shri Muralidharan has come online to meet the members of the Indian community of Nigeria. We take pride in sharing that we were also present when Shri Muralidharan came first time to Lagos after he became the Minister in MEA and Parliamentary Affairs. Indian Cultural Association, or ICA, is the apex body of all the Indians residing in Nigeria. It has been in existence for more than 50 years. The motto of ICA, Brotherhood Through Culture, is embodied in our objectives, which, among other things, are to promote cultural integration between India and Nigeria, to create awareness of the rich cultural heritage of India in thereby enhance the Indian image among the host communities in Nigeria, to engage in and support programs to assist less privileged among the host communities, to provide platform for Indians in Nigeria to celebrate Indian festivals and organize cultural events. In pursuance of its objective, ICA has been organizing various programs embracing cultural events, community welfare, and several charities. Provision of artificial limbs to physically challenged, supporting free eye camps, supporting homeless babies, equipping local hospitals, provision of drinking water facilities at local schools and Lagos University Teaching Hospital, adoption of old age home, providing computers to the Nigerian Police Force, providing food items, equipment and medicines to Okobaba Destitute Center, Little Saint Orphanage, Ikorodu Rehabilitation Center, etc. are some of the many activities connected with the charity and welfare. During the pandemic also, we have done several projects for the benefit of common Nigerian people. Food distribution, installation of no-touch hand washing machines, provision of free oxygen cylinders, free face mask distribution, free posters to increase awareness in the factories and residential compounds, organizing webinars to raise awareness, etc. It's a matter of great pride for me to share with Honorable Minister that we have been awarded in this January with Pravasi Bharatiya Samman Award by the Government of India for all these services provided to the needy. I also take pride in informing that this is the first time such award is given in Nigeria. The entire Indian community is elated with this news. It is in this spirit that I take this opportunity to convey through you the wishes of the Indian community to impress upon our Prime Minister to consider visiting Nigeria. We are sure, having known about the presence of vibrant Indian community in Nigeria, you will convey our enthusiasm in having him plan a visit to Nigeria soon. Once again, on behalf of the entire Indian community of Nigeria, we wish you good luck and warm regards. Jai Hind. Thanks.
Thank you so much, sir. Now I invite Shri Harshvardhan Mehta, Acting President, Indian Professionals Forum to Nigeria.
Good afternoon, India, and a very good morning, Nigeria, Benin, and Chad. Honorable Minister of State for External Affairs, Shri Muralidharan Sir, His Excellency Shri Abhay Thakur, High Commissioner of India to Nigeria, Presidents of various associations in Nigeria, Benin, and Chad, distinguished ladies and gentlemen. IPF operates under the auspices of Indian High Commission at Nigeria. IPF provides a platform for Indian professionals to interact with experienced top professionals, policy makers, and respected personalities of the respective fields in Nigeria and abroad. Having a membership base of over 900 members, IPF is at the forefront of connecting professionals with key stakeholders in various fields. We have completed approximately 27 years of our existence. And before the pandemic started, we celebrated our 25th anniversary by hosting a program by Shri Gaur Gopal Das. That was a highlight of our 25-year celebration. Since past 1 year, the world and India particularly went through some very troubled times. The pandemic has caused sufferings and economic hardship, coupled with health and mental trauma to our fellow citizens. Here in Nigeria too, our community also suffered due to COVID, and we lost some very near and dear ones. But the strength of the Indian society in helping others in need was very widely visible in India and elsewhere, wherever Indians are residing. Be it helping others for medical assistance, food, shelter, transport, etc. Indian organizations stood up in aid to the governments and authorities in minimizing the effect of pandemic on our fellow citizens. The Indian community in Nigeria felt the need to have some kind of facility for isolating and medical assistance for Indian and Nigerian patients. High Commission. Independent Isolation Center was commissioned. On our side, the Indian Professional Forum contributed generously in equipping the facility. Here I extend our sincere thanks to the High Commissioner Sri Abhay Thakur and his team in helping with regulatory approvals and other serious and important approvals and assistance. During the pandemic, IPF suspended our physical presence programs and events and moved to the virtual mode. We kept our members and general Indian diaspora updated with latest trends in business, finance, regulatory framework, governmental policies, etc. through our interactive webinars and events. We will continue to keep our members engaged with latest happenings in the future as well. More so, since this is the 75th year of our independence, it will make our celebrations in Nigeria more worthwhile if an Indian carrier starts direct air service between Nigeria and India. It will help in advancing business and professional connection and relations between the two great countries to a larger extent. I would like to request the Honorable Minister on behalf of the Indian Professional Forum and the entire Indian community to use your good office in making this long pending dream happen. It will be a legacy remembered for decades to come. We at Indian Professional Forum are committed to connect professionals and beyond. Thank you once again, Honorable Minister, sir, for interacting with us today. Have a wonderful day.
Thank you, Harshji. Now I would like to invite Shri Ramesh Biswal, Coordinator, Sanyukta Bharat Association, Nigeria, which is called Sabha, to throw some light on the role of Sabha during the pandemic time.
Thank you, Ishitaji. Am I audible?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Namaskar. A very good afternoon and good morning to one and all. Honorable Minister of State for External Affairs and Parliamentary Affairs, respected Sri V. Muralidharan sir, His Excellency the High Commissioner to India in Nigeria, Sri Abhay Thakur Sahab, and all ISC officials, distinguished dignitaries, revered all presidents and members of Indian organizations, including all our 33 members of Sabha, all Indian Samajams and organizations, and warm welcome to one and all. I take this absolute pleasure on behalf of Sabha to address this august endeavors and update the Sabha's community service, which is the main mission, motto, and vision of Sabha. The unprecedented COVID-19 crisis, as all of you know, crushed the socio-economic institutions around the world. The whole world came to a halt. Millions went homeless and unemployed as the disease took the death toll high. Some people died of starvations. However, with the arenas of this heart-wrenching episode, initiatives of Sabha with the help of Indian communities, we tried to light the lamps of hope again. I'd like to take the moment to make all of us aware the aforementioned notable initiatives of Sabha. A 50-bedded COVID treatment center was created at Indo-Eye Care facilities with help of the society at the time of their need. In a record time of 75 days, this is one of the single largest project that Indians delivered to the Lagos with the project cost of 250 million plus. This project saved the lives of 177 COVID patients who were treated successfully at free of cost within the period of 2 to 3 months in the first and second phase of the COVID. Presently, Sabha is in a preparation for the fighting the third wave of COVID if there will be any. Sabha pioneered in the distributing PPE kits and equipments worth approximately 10 million naira. Sabha also volunteered to create awareness amongst the people through 26 inspiring webinars by inviting prominent speakers and motivational speakers and also doctors and COVID warriors who helped to boost the morals of the communities with the participation level of 400 to 1300 in many meetings. The initiatives of establishing the ICCR Center at Lagos for public and private participation under the active support of Honorable ICCR President, Mr. Binay Sahasrabudhe, was undertaken by Sabha. I would like to seize this opportunity to request the Honorable Minister Sir and His Excellency Abhay Thakurji to support these initiatives for this establishment. It will not only be a service to Indian, but also remain exemplary in the cause of the African continent. Due to the paucity of time, I will not mention the issue faced by the Indian community here, but Mr. Praveen Kumar, one of our coordinators of the Sabha, who is leading the Sabha, is working with all 33 Indian Samajams and all our organizations to compile all the members' issues in each Samajams and send it to Honorable Minister for required solutions so that the convenience of the Indian community can be prevailed. Sabha would like to thank each and everyone in Indian diaspora, different organizations and Samajams for their unconditional, undivided supports in the fight against COVID-19 and making this societal need stronger and more robust. With this, I would like to thank each one of you providing me with this opportunity. I would like to thank Sabha to delegate me with these representations. As the coordinator of Sabha, I would like to ensure that the Sabha would like to continue to be the torch bearer, no matter how challenging at the times. Sabha is always there for the services to the Indian community. Thank you. Jai Hind, Jai Bharat, Hail Indo-Nigeria relations. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir. Now I invite Sri Sanjay Srivastava, International Convener, Nigeria, PIOCCI.
नमस्ते मंत्री महोदय, अभय जी, हाई कमीशन से उपस्थित सारे बंधु, ILS की प्राध्यापिका, IPF और सारे ऑर्गेनाइजेशंस जो आज के इस पावन अवसर पर इकट्ठा हुए हैं. I would like to name a few like Sabha, PIOCCI, Overseas Friends of BJP, Afro-Asian Association for Community Development, हिंदू स्वयंसेवक संघ नाइजीरिया. इन सब का अपने समाज में, इस डायस्पोरा में बहुत बड़ा योगदान है. फर्स्ट ऑफ ऑल, I would like to speak a few words about PIOCCI as what we do, and then a small appeal. So PIOCCI is basically registered in Delhi, and we work globally in all the countries among the Indian diaspora for associating subnational and other regional world to bridge the gap on the for trade and commerce. PIOCCI has chapters in all states. It also has presence and activities in more than 50 countries. Our main services are investment and financial services, human resources, business services, international dealing in product and services, technology, and information services. Today, I would like to speak one mantra which comes from Bharat, and it goes like Buddham Sharanam Gacchami, Sangham Sharanam Gacchami, Dhammam Sharanam Gacchami. Today, India is standing at a very good platform and a very nice stage where the one idea can become a group idea, and that group idea, if we take it forward to the whole world, it can solve a lot of problems for the whole world, and we know that. I would like to say at this juncture that we are in a war kind of situation, and we are being attacked by one enemy countries. This is the time that all Indian organization, all Indians globally as well as locally has to join hands together to promote our traditional values, our trade and culture, our support distressed Indians, and in all meaning we should promote the good governance which is going on under the leadership of Honorable Prime Minister Shri Modi ji, to make India a real Vishwaguru, a Atmanirbhar Bharat in the long term. We on behalf of Indian community in Nigeria assures that we work closely with the community to promote traditional values of Bharat, whether it is yoga, Ayurveda, and other things. We also support distressed Indians in Lagos and Nigeria. We are also engaged in some social activities, and at the end, without economic growth, nothing is possible. So we work and want to bridge a gap among all the Indian companies in Nigeria with India to promote trade and commerce. On behalf of PICCI, I thank you once again, everyone. Thank you, Manya Mantri ji.
Dhanyavad, sir. Now I invite Sri Paneet Selva Elvis, President, Indian Cultural Association, Abuja, to say few words.
Good morning, and thank you to the Honorable Minister of State External Affairs, Sri V. Muralidharan. His Excellency Sri Abhay Thakur is High Commissioner of India to Nigeria, Chief Sanjay Jain, President Indian Cultural Association, Lagos, Sri Aswath Mehta, Acting President Indian Professional Firm, Nigeria, Praveen Kumar, Sri Ramesh Biswal, Coordinator of Sabha, Joseph Andoni, President Kerala Samajam, Lagos, Govind Mangalani, President Indian Association, Benin, Sri Asmukh Patel, Vice President Indian Association, Benin, Indian diaspora at large, and my dear friends. My name is Paneet Selva Elvis, Indian Cultural Association, Abuja. First of all, an external opportunity for us to interact with the Honorable Minister of State of External Affairs, Sri V. Muralidharan, and Indian diaspora in Nigeria, Benin, and Chad. As for representative of Indian community at Abuja, with your permission, I would like to brief you about ICA Abuja contribution in the challenging in time of the pandemic. Our premises, aims, of the objectives are carry out helping the less privileged section and society, providing the correct information to assist the education, commerce, and social and culture in dismantle with information about health and relative of COVID-19. As a journey of thousands of miles, beginning with the single steps. As the proverb say, we too had started with the single step, but today we are happy to share our milestone walked in the pandemic situation. In the distressing period of COVID, we have interacted with the distribute the essential food item of 3.5 ton to FCDA through Indian High Commission on 5th May 2020 with our sponsor support. Support to our ICA, support to Indian High Commission team Vande Bharat mission, flight evacuation of Indian nation from Abuja various destinations in India to 21st June 2020. We have arranged a 2 local flights from Abuja to Lagos to our community members to connect the Vande Bharat mission flight from Lagos. We also assist community members to connect the VBM flight to Lagos. We have supported the NGO to 2 times for the distributing the non-perishable food for 304 children from the COVID charity accounts. We have donated the hand sanitizer and face masks to the Federal Ministry of Youth and Sport Development for 4th edition of OSOM Games of Abuja. Made up special arrangement with the VFS for our members to get involved with the NIMC, National Identification Management Council, to avoid COVID infection. We would even better serve our members in their distress time. We have Indian Community Hub. We would have used for multi-purpose, like converting to an installation center, testing center, or would be a temporary relief center for any unfrozen like the pandemic. We will be grateful to you, sir, if this community center comes into the reality with your support and his government grants. We will surely keep our vision in a high, creating an environment where we can promote Indian culture, traditional and valuable, providing social, cultural relation programs, thereby uniting in the Indian and Nigerian community from the time to time and also standing with the difficult time. Thank you once again on your time and patience. God bless you. Jai Hind.
Thank you so much, sir. Now I invite Sri Shiju Prabhakaran, General Secretary, Kerala Samajam, Lagos, who will be talking about the contribution of Kerala Samaj.
Honorable Minister of State V. Muralidharan, His Excellency Abhay Thakurji. First, we Kerala Samajam would like to thank you for the support extended during this pandemic crisis. We Kerala Samajam is a 20-year-old organization in Nigeria with more than 1,000 active members, and we have almost 2,500 Keralites in Nigeria. Prior to the COVID situation, we were a socio-cultural organization. But since the pandemic struck, all our committee members and senior members joined together and start supporting all the community members with correct information and the support which enabled them to handle the situation. We spearhead the repatriation process and helped many who was in distress. We had few unfortunate deaths. Kerala Samaj joined hand with High Commission and managed to repatriate bodies to their homeland. Kerala Samajam is closely and actively working with all the other associations to support Indian and host community. We will continue and extend these supports by expecting Honorable Ministers and High Commission support for the same. As a minister of God's own country, I would like to quote a line in Malayalam. Nigeria ella Malayali Samuothendeyum Nandi E Avsaratil Nyangal Rega. Thank you all.
Thank you, sir. Now I invite Shri Hasmukh Patel, Vice President, Indian Association, Benin.
Good morning, everyone in West Africa, and good afternoon in India. I, Hasmukh Patel, Vice President of Indian Association of Benin, on behalf of Indian community in Benin, feeling proud to welcome Honorable Shri V. Muralidharan ji, Shri Abhay Thakur ji, respected dignitaries, and everyone who have joined this session. It's really a pleasure to have you, sir. Benin is a small French colonized country neighboring to Nigeria, sharing around 800 kilometers of land border. Benin trade is largely dependent on Nigerian market. We are around 1,800 Indians in Benin residing happily and peacefully. Indian Association of Benin, which is called in French Association du Indien au Benin, ACIB, was formed before 25 years. The main objective was to bring social impact on people's life, whether it be an Indian or Beninese. Indian Association of Benin is also running a school named Indian International School Benin, IISB, which is a CBSE affiliated school. Apart from this, Indian Association is regularly organizing various sports activities like cricket, badminton, and volleyball to maintain fitness level for the members. Also, Indian Association is organizing many cultural events and festival celebrations. Sir, coming to how pandemic COVID-19 has hit Benin. With current official data of Government of Benin, total positive cases till now are 8,025. In that, 7,893 are recovered and 31 cases are under treatment, with total deaths of 101%. We can say Benin is a bit luckier than other countries where pandemic has hit more. Unfortunately, we have seen deaths of 2 Indians due to COVID-19. Benin has received its first consignment of 1,44,000 doses of AstraZeneca Covishield vaccine under COVAX program on 11th of March. After giving vaccine to frontliners, Benin government has made vaccine available to everyone in beginning of May. Almost all Indians are vaccinated with first dose of Covishield. Honorable Shri Muralidharan sir, we are deeply humbled for your concern towards us. It has been honored to be among such accomplished individuals and got a chance to speak before you all on behalf of Indian Association of Benin. Thank you all, and I wish you all a blessed day. Jai Hind. Astu.
Thank you, Mr. Patel. Honorable Minister, sir, almost the entire Indian community has received vaccines and profusely thankful to the Government of India for them, as well as more than 35 VBM charter flights to India. Thank you. May I now request the chief guest of the day, Minister of State for External Affairs, Shri V. Muralidharan, to address the audience. Sir, please.
Respected leaders of the Indian community, High Commissioner Shri Abhay Thakur, dear community members and friends, the Additional Secretary in the Ministry of External Affairs, Manika Jain, Joint Secretary Shri Sevla Naik, other officers, Namaskaram and good morning to you all. It gives me great pleasure to address this distinguished gathering of the Indian community in Nigeria, Benin, and Chad. You deserve all praise for your determination and resolve in successfully weathering these challenging times and firmly upholding the Indian flag in this very important region of West Africa. Nigeria holds a special place, as already mentioned by the High Commissioner, in my innings as the Minister of State. My first visit abroad after assuming office was to Abuja and Lagos, when I met many of you in person and received your warmth and affection. Nigeria is our largest trading partner in Africa, a vital energy partner, a valuable ally in articulating the cause of the developing world, especially at the UN and WTO, and very significantly, a second home to a unique, enterprising, and talented Indian diaspora of around 50,000. Friends, today's meeting reflects our strong desire to continue to engage with the diaspora in this region closely, to reassure them and to be reassured of their welfare. Honorable Prime Minister Shri Narendra Modi ji, while releasing a statement last week on the 7 years of transformation of foreign policy, highlighted, and I put it in inverted commas, ensuring well-being and welfare of Indians abroad and people of Indian origin as an area of primary focus. I'm glad to learn of the many initiatives taken by you in your host countries during the pandemic. I also deeply appreciate your desire to connect more and more and explore avenues on giving back to our motherland, India. In this respect, our community in West Africa is unique and special because almost all of you continue to hold Indian passports, even when you have been living abroad for decades and sometimes for generations. Your connect with India is becoming more and more important as India, under the leadership of Honorable Prime Minister Shri Narendra Modi ji, assumes greater global responsibilities while being strongly anchored in an Atmanirbhar or self-reliance agenda. Friends, the world has been ravaged by the pandemic, and India too has been deeply impacted. The government of India swung into swift action soon after the second wave started in India. To meet the increased domestic vaccination demand, the government enhanced its focus on vaccinating all. So far, over 22 crore vaccine doses have been administered. The government ensured that poor and vulnerable sections of the society are not suffered due to the movement restrictions imposed by various states to contain the spread of COVID. The Prime Minister has personally been monitoring, advising various departments and state governments of containment of COVID, providing relief to the poor and ensuring the availability and supply of medical equipment and essential medicines. He has been holding a series of meetings with medical experts, vaccine manufacturers, doctors, chief ministers, and officials at the district level. The government also facilitated faster imports of key medical devices by relaxing for clearances, approved 25 new manufacturing sites for remdesivir production, decided to procure 1 lakh portable oxygen concentrators from PM CARES Fund, and 551 PSA oxygen generation plants across the country through PM CARES. The large-scale production of vaccines for India and abroad, our own indigenous R&D in the form of Bharat Biotech's Covaxin and DRDO's 2DG, the countless trainloads of oxygen containers networking tirelessly across the country, our intense engagement with foreign countries to ensure timely supplies of medicine and equipment, and our own massive vaccination drive in the country are testimony to India's firm resolve to defeat the pandemic. It's a tribute to India and its leadership that the fight against the pandemic has been fought hard and is being won. The case load is reducing, number of deaths are decreasing, and the recovery rate is healthy. India is winning this fight convincingly. The government is sensitive and responsive to the needs of the nation. Friends, on the economic front, the government has taken several measures to ensure that the growth of the economy is accelerated. Recently, productivity-linked incentive scheme has been launched in various sectors, including pharma, electronics hardware, manufacturing, and white goods like air conditioners and LED lights, to make Indian manufacturers globally competitive and to attract investment. The government is committed in its efforts to create economies of scale, enhance exports, and make India an integral part of the global supply chain in various areas. The financial benefit under PM Kisan has been extended to over 9 crore farmer families. Recently, an allocation of rupees 26,000 crore rupees were made for free food grains to states and union territories for distribution to beneficiaries under the Pradhan Mantri Garib Kalyan Anna Yojana, or which is known as PMGKY. We have no doubt that our economy will bounce back very strongly. Despite difficulties in recent times, you all have been steadfast to your calling in the host country, strongly supporting our economy, especially in the sectors of oil and gas, power, pharmaceuticals, machinery, mining, and chemicals. It's truly a matter of pride that Indian and Indian-owned companies in Nigeria and other parts of the West Africa with whom I am interacting are known as the largest employment providers, especially in Nigeria, after the federal government itself. Friends, I am glad to note that Made in India vaccines have supported vaccination drives, including supply of 3.92 million Covishield doses under COVAX and donation of another 100,000 doses to Nigeria and supply of 144,000 doses to Benin under COVAX. I am delighted to know that almost all members of the Indian community have also received these vaccines under the gracious arrangement of the respective local governments. Since April 2020, over 35 Vande Bharat and charter flights have been organized to various Indian cities to enable over 10,000 Indian nationals from Nigeria, Benin, and Chad to return home. The first such flight was to Kerala in May 2020, which I was glad to facilitate. All this while, our consular cooperation with your countries remains strong, be it in visas, residence cards, or extension of exit or entry permits, thereby protecting the livelihoods and well-being of the Indian diaspora. I'm happy that Indian enterprises have not only ensured the protection of the lives of their own personnel and families, but also contributed to local healthcare support, whether in the form of isolation facilities or distributing food and medicines. I would like to especially compliment the Indian Language School in Lagos, the CBSE pattern school with over 1,800 Indian students, for quickly adapting to online teaching, completing the school year and exams, and keeping children motivated despite all the hurdles of the pandemic. In recognition of these achievements, in March 2021, Government of India approved an IIT JEE Exam Center in Lagos. Friends, in conclusion, I would like to commend and applaud all Indian community organizations and their members for their excellent work, not only for community welfare, but also for building bridges of friendship with local communities at the same time. In a somewhat overdue recognition of the entire community's immense contribution, the first ever Pravasi Bharatiya Samman Award to anyone from Nigeria was conferred on one of your oldest organizations, the ICA Lagos, earlier this year. I am confident that with your continuing good work, more such recognitions to individuals and organizations will come to you in future. I would also like to appeal to you all to think ahead and wherever possible, give more support to the economic development of your motherland. This is the time we need a diaspora like you to support our flagship schemes, be it Digital India, Skill India, Swachh Bharat Abhiyan, or Startup India. Your role and expertise and exposure that you bring to India could help in accelerating India's journey to become a $5 trillion economy in the near future and meet the rightful expectations of millions of those who now the new and aspirational India. Thank you all once again.
Thank you so much, sir, for your valuable insights. निस्संदेह हमें आज अपने भारतीय होने पर बहुत गर्व है. I would like to invite Mr. Anuj Murarka from the Indian Professionals Forum.
Thank you, Mrs. Yadav. Namaste and warm greetings to Honorable Minister Shri V. Muralidharan, High Commissioner His Excellency Shri Abhay Thakur, senior government officers in Lagos, Abuja and Delhi, and respected community members. We are here to launch the website of Indian Professionals Forum, and I would like to give you a small synopsis about it. The Indian Professionals Forum website was created in the year 2007 with very, very basic features. As we started moving towards digital spectrum and digital India, a need was felt to have a completely interactive, user-driven website with a membership management portal. The development team started working on the concept last year and has come up with this portal with the links to major government websites, business chambers, export promotions associations, and Indian missions in Nigeria. On our self-service portal, members can register and subscribe, receive alerts for events, circulars, and notifications from government ministries and key private sector bodies. The portal would help companies connect with key stakeholders and in turn grow bilateral trade and commerce. Future plans include the launch of IPF Connect, the mobile app, which shall be networked with several economic and commerce houses in India and Nigeria. We encourage members of the Indian community to be a part of this website, register and get connected professionally with conglomerates in Nigeria and India. It's an honor to have our new website launched today at this event by the Honorable Minister, Shri V. Muralidharan. Thank you very much. Thank you, Mrs. Yadav. Back to you.
Now I request the Honorable Minister, Shri V. Muralidharan, to please launch the website.
With great pleasure, I hereby launch the revamped website of Indian Professionals Forum, Nigeria, and congratulate all the concerned stakeholders.
Thank you, sirs. Thank you very much, ma'am. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir. Now we move on to the next segment of this session, question and answers. I request Mr. Sunil Mohta and Ashish Bakshi to take the lead.
Good morning, everyone. Myself, Sunil Mohta and Ashish Bakshi from Indian Professional Forums welcome Shri V. Muralidharan ji, Honorable Minister of State for External Affairs, in this question and answer session. Our first question is from Mr. Nilesh. Thank you, sir, for having new embassies in Africa. When can we expect Indian embassy in Benin?
Can you repeat that question? It was not audible here.
Sir, thank you, sir, for having new embassies in Africa. When can we expect Indian embassies in Benin?
Since I can say during the last 7 years, India has been engaging with Africa very actively. And you can understand that during the last few years, we have started our missions in many countries, and our engagement with Africa has increased also. So I'm happy that you are desired to have the embassy in Benin. I appreciate that. We will definitely give due consideration to that. And then I'm not in a position to give you a specific time frame for that, but definitely your desire and your request will be duly considered. And let's hope that the Indian embassy will come up there in due course of time.
Thank you very much.
If I may add, sir, if I may add, sir, Honorable Minister had visited Cameroon in 2019, and then the mission in Cameroon was opened. The mission in Chad is already on the way to opening. So all the countries covered by the High Commission, the Honorable Minister has ensured that 2 of them already have embassies, and the 3rd is on the way. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Honorable Minister, and welcome once again to this session, and thank you for your time. The second question which we have is, once again, we thank you for the Vande Bharat mission. When can we expect direct flights again from India to Nigeria?
This pandemic that is there, it's an unpredictable situation. See, when the pandemic struck in the month of last January, we didn't know that how long it will last. Of course, after the first wave subsided, we were hoping that things will become normal. But then a new variant came. There was a sort of a second wave. Now, hopefully, the whole world, I can say that we are overcoming that second wave. But we are not yet sure when the situation will be normal. Many countries of the world are slowly turning to the normal situation. And I'm sure that the vaccine that has been now, that has been introduced and vaccination is being done, that is bringing respite to many of the societies. So we hope that the sooner the situation becomes normal, we will be making all efforts to start the regular flight service from every part of the world into India and back. So I am not in a position to give you a definite date, because this pandemic itself is such an unpredictable scenario. So once the situation becomes normal, we will definitely restart the regular flight service.
Thank you. What is you?
Thank you, sir. The next question is from Dr. Bakshi. He asks, we would like to have an Indian hospital in Nigeria with a team of Indian doctors providing quality healthcare to Indian and other nationals.
No, I appreciate your desire and your request. I would urge the community there to take an initiative on that and approach our mission, and how the government of India can do something in that. we will discuss and then we will come up with whatever is possible.
Thank you for that answer, sir. I have two questions which I'll club into one. There are a lot of Indians who are working or staying in Lagos, currently in India, stuck because their passports have not got renewed. And especially because of lockdown, it's not possible because I think the passport authority is closed. The second question, which is linked, is
Commissioner can answer about it is regarding the passports, I think.
Yes. Yes, there's a question from Mr. Rakesh Agarwal. And the second question is the SERPAC cost or the work permit cost is very high. Is there any way that we can appeal to the High Commission to talk to the local government and reduce the cost?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Abhay Thakur, you can.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Thank you, sir, with your kind permission. Yes, sir. We are processing a number of passports even during the current, lockdown. We are having an arrangement and we have issued a certain number of passports. But if there are any which are pending for a longer time, please approach us, because we have issued a number of renewed passports. And those who are living at some distance, we would definitely be happy to do consular camps. For example, we did one in Kano, we will be doing one in Port Harcourt. So wherever we have a certain number, we are quite open to process the passports. This is some slowdown because of the lockdowns, etc., that happened back home. But there is no interruption and the process is continuing. Any particular lot of people who are awaiting, will be happy to facilitate. The second question about SERPAC, it is work in progress. We have taken up with the government of Nigeria. There are certain, they are charging about $2,000 per family member for a resident permit. For the moment, they have taken note of our request. There was also a court case in Lagos against this decision, but the Nigerian government appealed in court. And therefore the decision still remains to, on the table, but it is work in progress. And if we get any further leeway, we will definitely take it up more strongly with the government of Nigeria. Thank you.
Very much. Due to time constraint, I think this was the last question. Over to you, Sunil.
So the last question is from Shreyas Rajesh of ILS. The COVID-19 pandemic has once again brought to light the importance of international cooperation. In the present context, how well is India placed with respect to international relations and diplomacy?
Can you repeat that? It was not very clear.
Okay, sir. The COVID-19 pandemic has once again brought to light the importance of international cooperation. In the present context, how well is India placed with respect to international relations and diplomacy?
When the pandemic struck, India looked at it the way you have been telling, the role of the international collaboration, multilateral cooperation. This pandemic is not is to be fought globally. It doesn't have geographical boundaries. This is the view that Government of India and our Honorable Prime Minister had taken. He also mentioned that two things, I would say. He also mentioned that when the issue of India becoming a self-reliant economy, he specifically mentioned that it doesn't mean that we are going to be isolated ourselves. He said that we are going to be part of the global supply chains. That means we will be, the globe will be, the countries will be connected more. That was the point he was mentioning. And when you can see that now you have personally experienced that the vaccine, the medicines, the PPE kits, all these things, it was not limited to a particular country. India have received the assistance from across the globe, and India has been supplying also to various countries and communities. Now regarding patents also, there has been a lot of discussion happening. There has been assistance from various countries. So the whole world has become more united to face the pandemic, because pandemic doesn't consider or is not specific to geographical boundaries. So this is an issue. This pandemic has in a way united the world more, and India has definitely played its very significant prominent role in the global scenario, and India has emerged as one of the countries which can take lead in solving this issue that is facing the whole world.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much, sir. That gets us to the end of question answer session. Over to you, Ishita ma'am.
Thank you so much, sir. Now I request the principal of Indian Language School, Mrs. Sonali Gupta, to brief us on the contribution of ILS and propose the vote of thanks.
Thank you, Mrs. Yadav. Sadar Namaskar, Shri V. Muralidharan, Honorable Minister of State, Ministry of External Affairs and Parliamentary Affairs, His Excellency, the High Commissioner of India to Nigeria, Shri Abhay Thakurji, Presidents of the various associations and samajas in Nigeria, Chad and Benin, all the dignitaries present, ladies and gentlemen. It is a great honor and privilege to propose a vote of thanks to our Honorable Minister, Shri V. Muralidharan. We are extremely grateful to you, sir, to have taken out your valuable time to interact with us this morning. This session has given us the reassurance in these troubled times and further strengthened our bonds with India. I, on behalf of the Indian community organizations of Nigeria, Chad and Benin, extend our sincere gratitude for your presence and encouragement. I'm also thankful to His Excellency and all the officials of the Indian High Commission for making us a part of this valuable session. I also thank the Indian Professionals Forum for giving the technical support for today's function. As the principal of the oldest CBSE school in West Africa, who has sustained very well for 39 years in the field of education, I would want to share our journey of supporting students in these unprecedented times. I know the time is short, so I'll try to be within that limit. As the saying goes, the journey of 1,000 miles begins with a single step. Indian Language School was established under the umbrella of the Indian High Commission due to the vision of our founder trustees and then High Commissioner, with a view of providing education to children of Indian expatriates. The focus of learning and education at Indian Language School has been always and is holistic, competency-based, innovative, but now technology-driven. Because the year 2020 brought a host of new challenges to the education system world over, we too quickly adapted the online mode of teaching, and this was achieved through intensive training of our teachers. The students' mental health and well-being has become a rising concern during these times. Keeping the interest of students in mind, the school has organized several counseling sessions, webinars, talks led by professionals, which address mental issues and have offered practical solutions also. ILS has always encouraged students to participate in competitions and stay motivated. The school has organized various competitions virtually so as to give the students a sense of normality and to boost their confidence during these times. And I'm happy to say, sir, that not only have they excelled both in the competitions held in Lagos, in India, but in other countries as well. I'm also very happy to inform that we have organized several competitions and activities for celebrating India at 75. ILS has always looked at possibilities, even in the face of adversities. And I'm very gladdened to say that our schools successfully conducted both the online proctored examinations and the offline pen and paper examinations, as mentioned by you also. Thank you for that, sir. IRIS has taken efforts bearing in mind that our students should not suffer the repercussions of being isolated and distancing themselves, especially during the pandemic times. Hence, presently at ILS, classes are delivered in a blended mode. We are holding both face-to-face classes and also online classes. The school has also reopened for grades 9 to 12 in a phased manner, following all the COVID-related protocols sent by CBSE as well as the Lagos state government. I want to use the special opportunity to express my sincere appreciation for the relentless support and guidance extended to us by the Indian High Commission at Abuja and Lagos, members of the Board of Trustees of the Indian Language School, Indian Cultural Association, Parent-Teacher Association of Indian Language School, Indian Professional Forum, and all other well-wishers. Indian Language School will always remain committed in providing quality education to our students and be a huge support for the Indian community here. Thank you and Jai Hind.
Dhanyavad, Mrs. Gupta. I'm really proud to be a part of this institution, Indian Language School. Sir, आपका बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद, हार्दिक धन्यवाद भारतीय समुदाय की तरफ से कि आज इस कठिन समय में आपने हमारे साथ जुड़कर जो सपोर्ट दिया है, हम उसके आभारी हैं. धन्यवाद.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much. Sir, do we have your permission to close the session?
Please.
Or would you like to say something in the...
No. We'll continue. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Namaskar, धन्यवाद.
Thank you, Ji.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you, ILS.
Thank you,
ICA,
sir.
IPS.
Thank you so
Thanks
much.
a lot.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Thank you.
नमस्ते अभय जी, नमस्ते सोनाली जी, बहुत ही अच्छा बोला आपने स्कूल के बारे में.
Thank you all.
Thank you for
अभय जी को आज ज्यादा नहीं सुनने को मिला.
Thank you very much.
आप लोगों का it's good to be a platform that pick up so many important ideas. So thank you all. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much for the
Sir,
support
thank you, sir.
always.
Thank you.
Thank you.
जी जी, नमस्ते नमस्ते.
Congratulations actually to the Indian High Commission, both in Abuja and Lagos, for this platform and this interaction that we could have. And as sir said just now, collectively together we can achieve it more and all. So I think it was a brilliant idea of bringing so many associations and of course Indian Language School at a common platform to be a part of this really valuable session. So thank you once again, sir. Thank you so much.
Thank you to the
Well
wonderful
organized.
MC, making sure everybody sticks to the time. Thank you. All right.
Very well organized IPF and all coordination to High Commission team in Abuja and Lagos. Wonderful. Namaste.
Thank you.
Thank you,
Can we-
everyone. Thank
yeah,
you.
congratulations,
Mrs.
Mr.
Gupta.
Rachit. Congratulations. Very well done to you and to the IPF and all the other
For all the support,
associations. Yes, not at all. Always there for you. And sir, would they end the meeting or we are supposed to leave the meeting? Whatever you suggest.
I think, Mr. Mehta, you can suggest all of us can greet again and then we can leave the meeting. We are obviously in touch.
I think
Thanks again to the community.
Yes, we are
Thank you,
actually
Rachit.
thankful to the community.
Thank you.
Yes. Thank you so much.
Gupta, thank you everybody for
Thank
this
you
wonderful
so
office of High Commission
Thank
for
you so
making this
much.
happen.
Thank you so much. Always there for everyone. Thank you so much.
Thank you, IPF, ICA, Sabha, everyone, in fact, Thanks a lot.
Thank
Have
you,
a great
Rachit.
day.
Thank you so much.
Moderator especially. Very well done.
Thank you.
Thank you, Ji. Thank you, everyone. Thank you, Rachit. Thank you.
Should we close the meeting?
Yes,
Yes,
let's
I
close
think
the
let us
meeting.
end the meeting. That would be better rather than we exiting it.
Yes.
Thank you.
Siddharth,
And we
close
can
the meeting.
stop the recording as well. Yeah, thank you so much. Before we